All right, 27 squats, follow along video. I've got our handy dandy matrix here because I'll lose track without it. So we're gonna start off with a normal shoulder width squat stance. I like a line being across the floor. When we start to stagger our stance, that helps me out a lot. We've got our toes straight and a neutral stance, so both toes are on the line. We'll do 2 squats here at each of these. As always, we're keeping in mind all our normal squat rules: weight on the heels, knees out, hips initiate, down and back, all that good stuff. We did toes straight, now we do toes out. Point them out at least, let's call it 20 or so degrees, 2 there, toes in. Keep the weight on the heels, keep pushing the knees out so they go over our pinky toes. Boom. Normal stance, left foot forward. So we do the hokey pokey. Left heel goes on the line. I don't go wider or narrower, I just go straight forward. Now our hips go down, back, and to the left because our left foot is forward. 2 like that, wide for 2. Drive the knees out hard. Don't let them collapse inside the toes. And then toes in. Corkscrew the feet in, still try and drive the knees out. It's okay if you can't go quite as low, I can't either. Hokey pokey. Left foot goes back in, right foot goes out. Hips go down, back, and to the right. 2 reps. Toes out. 2 reps. Drive the knees out really, really hard. Don't let them come inside of the toes. Toes in for 2 reps. Boom. We are done with our normal stance. We are 1/3 of the way done. Wide. So if I squatted right here, now I'll just do a little sumo step out. Knees go out for 2 reps. Toes out. Knees go out harder for 2 reps. Really open up the hips. Toes go in. Knees still push out. Corkscrew the feet into the ground. That's our wide stance neutral. Let's do left foot in front, wide. Hips go down, back, and to the left. Really shift the hips to the side. That's our toes straight. Now we do toes out. Don't let those knees collapse in. This is where it gets really, really hard. Toes in, still shift the hips to the left. That's the leg that's forward. Boom. Wide stance with the right foot forward. Toes straight. 2, hips back and to the right. Feet wide. Sorry, I should say toes wide, now toes in. Go a little bit wider, I think it went a little bit in. Still shift the hips to the right, still try and drive the knees away from each other, just do the best you can. That is all our wide. Now we have the narrow. This is the worst one for me, because my ankles are a little bit tight. For me, if normal squatting means shoulder width, narrow anywhere inside of that, depends on the day. For today, I'll do feet right underneath the hips. This will kind of be like my deadlift stance. If you feel really flexible, you can go feet together. I'm not there today. Neutral stance, toes straight, 2 reps. Hips push straight back, knees track the toes. Toes out, a little plie. Open up the hips, push the knees out really, really hard. And then toes in. Try not to let your heel come up off the ground. Try not to round your back too egregiously. Now we put one foot in front of the other. Just kind of like we're maybe riding a skateboard or something. Hips back into the left because our left foot is in front. 2 with the toes straight. 2 with the toes out. You can go way lower. Don't let it be at the expense of your knees collapsing inside of your toes. And then toes in. I got very little there, but I'm doing my best. That's our left foot forward. Last but not least, right foot forward. Narrow stance. So again, for me, that's hip width, toes straight. Hips down, back, and to the right. A little better, this ankle feels okay. Toes out. Push the knees out really, really hard. Toes in. Try not to let that heel come up like I just did. Boom, 2 like that, and you're done. Now, go back to a normal stance squat. You got options because all your joints are nice and open. And if you're anything like me, you're nice and warm. Feel free to follow along to this video anytime you want to do the 27 squats as a warm-up. Pretty soon, you'll be able to just write down your matrix here, keep it around, you go.